going to sew a simple skirt for my doll, and for that I'm using this template. Find the link in the info box below. For this one I'm going to use the number 1, so I'm going to cut it here because I'm going to make the tiny skirt for her. So your pattern looks like this, and then place it on your fabric like I show here and cut it out. As you can see, I gave it a tiny bit of seam allowance down here, but otherwise it's the same. So I'm just going to remove that, and then I will have the circle if you did it just like I showed. So you have a circle like this all the way around. So I'm going to take my scissor and I'm going to cut up actually in a straight line, and I actually have a straight line right here in my fabric, so I'm going to use that one for cutting the circle open. So I have it open now, still a circle. Then I'm going to take my doll and I'm going to measure around her waist to see how long it is. This one is 7.5 centimeters, so I'm going to use that number. If yours is longer, make sure you put in the right number. So I need another piece of fabric for this of the same kind of what we just have, and this is 5 centimeters wide, and I actually put this double, and I'm going to measure from the end of this, from the fold here, and then 7.5 centimeter is right here, but I need to give it a little overlay for making it able to go all the way around my doll, so I'm going to put 1 centimeter more in, so I'm going for 8.5. Ended up with 9 centimeters. Remember, my doll was 7.5 centimeters, so I put 1.5 centimeters more in here. All I'm going to do now is I'm going to sew this part close and have it lying good side to good side when you do that. You can use a sewing machine for this, but I like to sew it by hand. So anyway, I'm going to start here in the corner. And I'm always starting with a few stitches around the edge of my fabric here. There we go. And then I'm just going to sew with a back stitch all the way over here. So cut it off. And now you turn it inside out. And I'm going to place this sewing in the middle here on the back side of the fabric. And you can see this opening in the dress is all too big for this little part. So I'm going to take my sewing needle and some thread, making sure that it won't go all the way through the fabric. And then I'm just going to make a zigzag, or what you call that, all the way here. So in and out from one end of the opening to the other. There we go. Pull the needle through and leave the thread in there. So I have it like this now, and I can adjust this to the length of the skirt part. I need this one to be turned around so I have the good side here to the good side of the skirt. And I'm actually taking my skirt and I'm placing to the top part here of that. And now it's teasing me, of course. And I'm going to put these two together. So I'm going to take the edge of the fabric and fold it over like that, away from this top part that I am placing to that corner, and putting a needle in there. So I have a tiny fold here on the fabric. Let's see if I can show it. Right here, and it's so hard to show. So I have the fold here of the fabric. So that's the bad side and this is the good side. And I'm going to do the same in the other end. So I'm going to place it down and I'm going to take this string and I'm going to pull so it fits the top here. Like that. And then I'm going to pin it down a few places. So I have the top part here with the good side out, placed with this part away from the good side of the skirt, and then make sure that this fold is nicely laid here. If you have a sewing machine, you just sew right across. If not, then take your needle and your thread, and I'm going to make a back stitch all the way across the top here, making sure I have everything sewn in really good and tight. This time I'm going to make the stitch over, not on the side, because I want the side nice and neat. So I'm going to make it over here. And I'm just going to make a few of these to make sure I have a good start. And then I'm just going to make a back stitch all the way across here, making sure I have all 3 layers of my fabric. And you can end off your sewing right here, but if you want to be all sure that you have it all good and nice in there, you can go back again if you like to do that. If you're lucky, you can take this extra string and you can just pull it out. If you're lucky, you did not sew it. I think I did. Let's see, this is my sewing and this is the strip. There we go, I got it out. So you won't be able to see that on the done result of your dress. So I just made a sewing bag again, and then I'm just going to cut off this thread. And if you remember, then we have the good side right here, but I'm just going to fold it over and place it like this, and then sew it all the way back so I have it like that when I'm done. So I'm taking my thread and this fabric and I'm going to start here in the corner. And the trick here is not to go through the fabric and into the nice part over here. So I am trying to avoid that and just bringing down, whoops, this part to the skirt part. So all the way down here with some overlay stitches, or what you call those. I'm going in here and out and again. Over this part. And if your thread has a color that matches the fabric, then you won't see this at all. And this is also on the back side, so it's all fine. So I sewed this on, and I made sure that I didn't sew into this side, so it's still nice and neat. And then we only have a few things left to do. We have this fold here, and we have that on the other side as well. So I'm going to take that and unfold it at the bottom, and I'm going to place these two parts here together, and I'm going to pin it down. And I'm going to take my sewing thread here, and I did make my knot, so I'm going to place my knot inside here, right here, like that. And I'm going to make some tiny stitches here at the edge of this part, so it's nice on the good side. And I am going to use a back stitch right here, again from the good side, so it looks nice and neat. And again, if you have a thread that fits the color of the fabric, it would be better, but I don't, so I'm going to use this one. So I'm going to sew down the side just a few stitches here. So I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to put it through the fabric just in one layer, if it's possible here. So just through one layer of the fabric. And you need to go down this side as well with these stitches, so that it's just as far down as this one. And now I'm going to sew through both of these clothing layers. And that was not that good. Like that. So I'm going both layers now. And as you can see, I'm quite a long way in here, and I'm just going to make a back stitch all the way down here to this part, if I can for this needle. All the way down to the corner here, like this, and then I'm going to make my usual stitches here. And if I open up now, let's try to do that here, then I can open this part up and flatten them out, and it fits with the part here that I sewn together at the top. I'm going to sew this little piece here as well. So I sewed that together, and I sewed these small seams right here. And I'm going to take a tiny bit of my fabric glue, and I'm going to glue these parts down. Yeah, This is better. So I'm going to place some of the glue here on this side, making sure it's not too much. And then I'm just opening up this part. And sticking it into the glue. And I'm going to leave it to dry. As this is a non-fraying fabric, you don't need to hem the bottom of the skirt. But if you want to, you could place a little lace at the bottom all the way around to hide imperfections if you like to do that, but you don't need to. So now I'm going to take a snap fastener and I'm going to sew one of them on right here on the outside of the fabric, and then the other one on the inside of the fabric. And I'm using snap fastener as I don't like Velcro because it's always getting stuck in my doll's hair. And again, this would be nice if you have the right color of sewing thread for the fabric, but I don't, so I'm using this one. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to take this one first, I think. And I'm going to place them here at the top. So I'm going to take this little part, make sure the knob here is outside or turned out. So I'm placing that right here, and I'm just going through all layers of the fabric right here. There we go. And I'm going to sew this part where you need the hole to be out on the outside on this side. So I'm just going to take my thread. I'm always placing the knot under the part that I'm sewing in here, because then this part can hide the knot. There we go. So the hole is going to be turned out like that, and then I'm just going to sew this one on. So now I can close this on the back of my doll, and she can have it on. Happy crafting!